This video is brought to you by Jameson Stone LLC, which is a law firm in central Pennsylvania specializing in real estate and business law. You can visit their website at thejamesonlawfirm.com. On with the vlog.
Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars, and today we're taking a look at a 2018 Volvo S90 T6 Inscription. My buddy Dan is here. We're going to talk about the car. We're going to go over the styling, the inside and outside. We're going to go for a ride. We're also going to try to check out the pilot assist, where the car will drive for itself. So let's take a look. Alright, so I'm here with my buddy Dan. This is his car. So what do you think of this car?
I love it, honestly. It's probably the best car I've ever driven and ever owned, for sure. And it's everything I hoped it'd be, honestly.
Yeah, now it's funny, when Dan was getting this car, he and I sort of consulted, you know, because I love helping people find cars, and he showed me like a spreadsheet of all the cars that he was considering. I mean, it was like Jaguar, Mercedes, this car, Audi,
BMW, Cadillac.
So
that might be it.
What really was it about this car that sort of drew you to it and made you pick it?
Sure. So first is I like unique cars. I like cars that not everybody on the road has. This model just came out in 2017 was the first year they made it, and so 2018 was just coming out, and so that kind of what got it at least onto my list. And then driving it actually drove better than most of the other ones I had test drove.
So what did you drive?
I drove a Audi A6, both models, a 2.0 and 3.0. I drove the Jaguar XF. I drove a Lexus GS350. I drove a Mercedes E-Class and a BMW 5 Series. Wow. It was comparable. I wouldn't say it was better than BMW or the Mercedes necessarily driving-wise, but it was better priced. And for what you can get inside. Yeah,
I would agree that this is definitely unique. I mean, it's sort of like a breath of fresh air in the market. I mean, everybody always considers like the Germans, you know, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, but I'm interested to see when we drive this, like how, I know this car is all about luxury, so I'm interested to see how sporty it is too. Yeah. Because I know luxury and safety is number one, but I want to see just how it drives.
And that's kind of what I don't think I would have bought it or leased it if it wasn't sporty.
Right.
That was my concern when I first got it, or first got behind the wheel of it. And then as I got moving, it had enough sporty and pickup to be comparable with all the others.
Yeah, now it's funny how, like, the more and more cars I drive, like I just drove like a twin turbo V8 Mercedes. I mean, it was nice and it sounded great, but it's more power than I needed, honestly. So I know this is only a 2-liter turbo 4, which is 316 horsepower is more than adequate. So it's funny how there's so many different options in the segment. I mean, 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, twin turbos,
supercharged,
V8s. So all right, we're gonna take a look around this car and go from there. All right, so I want to talk about the styling of this car, and it's definitely gorgeous. I mean, we talked about the German cars, just an evolutionary design when they update them, but this one was definitely brand new from the ground up. I know the Chinese company Geely has bought Volvo, and they were in charge of all the design for this car and the XC90, and all around everybody says that they absolutely hit it out of the park, and I definitely agree. We have to talk about the Thor's Hammer LEDs right here. Always a nice touch. It's basically, if I could sum it up, it's just modern elegance. I mean, it fits in the Volvo design language. Volvos have always had that little cross there. It's gorgeous. This color, and Dan's gonna help me out, it's called
osmium gray metallic.
Yeah, osmium gray metallic, which who the hell knows what that means, but it looks really good. He's got a slight tint, which looks very nice with the color. But yeah, it's a beautiful car. Now he mentioned, if we look right here, he mentioned that this is a 2018, but in 17 it had 4 inches less legroom in the back, right?
Correct.
So we're gonna check that out and see how that looks in the back. But it looks big. It looks like a big car, but really it's a mid-size sedan. I mean, it's crazy. Like I said yesterday when I looked at the BMW, a modern 5 Series, I'm sure, would be as big as like a 7 Series from 10 years ago. I mean, this is a big car meant for cruising on the highway, grand touring. Sure, it has performance. It's got a turbo and a supercharger, so they definitely have performance in mind to go along with the typical Volvo safety, but looks really good. Now, the one, I think, controversial part of this car, I'd say, is the back design. It's just different than other cars. And the reason for that is, I guess, the shape of the taillights is sort of different, but it fits into the Volvo design language. And then sort of like the little crease in the back trunk where it says Volvo, but I think it's cool. I wouldn't call it ugly. It's just different. I mean, it looks like nothing else on the road, which is a good thing. So other than that, the proportions are right. The wheel design is nice and big. But yeah, I think it's definitely a home run as far as design goes. All right, so on to the interior. Now, when I drove a couple XC90s last year, they were all the light interior. I think Jason's might have been black, but I've never seen the black interior in an S90, and it's beautiful. The thing about it is the wood. I mean, for years and years and years, we've always done like gloss finish wood, and now this is like a new take that I swear Volvo might have been the first one to do like the open pore wood. Like it's just not, it's like a matte finish, I guess you could say. I know Audi does the open pore wood too, but this looks awesome. And to go along with the design on the outside, the interior design here was sort of all new. I mean, different from anything else at the time too. I mean, it's gorgeous. You got a central screen here. I love the metal on the vents here. You've got an interesting start button here, which is kind of different and new. You've got this little button here for the drive modes, but it's just new. Like nobody else really did anything like this. I mean, it's a wonderful place to be. I mean, you've driven this car for a year now. I mean, what do you think?
The interior is probably one of the biggest selling points for me, because I got into an Audi and they, their design had not been updated in quite a while. Even Mercedes and BMW, the interior was not this luxurious, I will say. Mm-hmm. It just felt really comfortable and really neat and modern and new. And you spend 95% of the time you have a car, you spend inside your car.
Right.
You go outside and you look at it a little bit, but for the most part you're inside, so you want it to be comfortable, you want to like the way it looks. And so that was a big sale for me. It also has a really cool sound system.
Yeah, I know it has like that concert hall feature.
Yeah, I have tried the concert hall. Bowers and Wilkins is what it's called. She kept trying to sell me on that, which worked apparently.
She did. Whatever she did.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of speakers. That's kind of a cool, unique speaker there up front.
Yep. And you got the nice, like, sort of silver-looking grills. I think that's more like a trend that people are doing now too. Is like the higher-end audio with like the nice touches of the grills that are silver.
Yep, exactly. I don't know if that's like a sound thing or just a look.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it works.
Now, I wonder, when you got this car, like, I don't think Mercedes E-Class, did they have like the nicer interiors by then?
They did.
Because those, like, other than this,
yes,
I think an E-Class is like the most gorgeous
best interior.
Just with, I know it has two 12.3-inch screens, which is huge.
Correct.
And I think one thing that Volvo doesn't do, which is fine, that Mercedes does, is they have like the ambient lighting going all around the car. And it's a nice touch. I'm sure people have bought that car just for the lighting.
There is some on here that we just won't see today, I think, because it's not dark.
Yeah.
Underneath, there's ambient lighting underneath on the door handles, and then actually the outside door handles, when you go, like when you unlock your car, the door handles have ambient lighting on them, so when you're coming out at night, it kind of lights it up a little bit. Makes
that's
it feel
cool.
a little bit safer.
Now, just noticing the panoramic roof. I mean, that is huge.
It is pretty neat.
Yeah, that's a nice feature. Another thing that's cool is, like, I feel like this
yeah, I like that a lot as well.
It's like a frameless. It's
almost
just
what are those pools where the water, infinity pools, where the waters just go over the edge? That's kind of how this rearview mirror looks.
Yeah.
It just kind of disappears. One other little cool thing is, despite them being made in China now, they like to throw their little Swedish flag.
Like I've said before with Mazda, I think Volvo is on a run. like they can't do no wrong. I mean, every car they've designed has been a hit. I mean, the XC90, the XC60, this car, the XC40. It's just their design is fresh and new, and they're killing it right now.
Yeah, you're right. So they're not in your way.
All right, so in the back seat, now this is supposedly a mid-size sedan, but like I'm 6 feet tall, Dan is like 6'4", and look at the space that we have. I mean, you could.
Yeah, the only reason it looks goofy is because we're in April and I still have to have a scraper in my car.
Yeah, goddamn Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
but geez, look at this. I mean, I got room for days, and this is the seat where Dan has it. I mean, he's tall, so this is more than enough space. I could drive to Chicago back here. So got a nice little screen for the AutoZone. I guess it's locked. All right, so one cool feature in the back seat here is from the passenger seat, and we decided that it's not on the driver's seat because you don't want to move the driver's seat while somebody's sitting in the back, is for safety reasons. So he can control this seat from over there in the door.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, check that out. That's pretty cool. And
I think it even will. Yeah, I'll come back to.
And you can control the sunshades too. You want to try
Correct.
that?
So
That's nice.
Yep, they have these sunshades, and then there's actually one on the back rear window.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if that's. Yep.
Yep. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just another luxurious feature of this car. I mean, the room back here is insane. I mean, we're two not short guys with plenty of room.
It's comfortable.
Yep. So, all right, let's take this thing out on the road.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're driving the S90 now. I just asked Dan, this car has the stop-start feature when you're at a stop, like when I stop right now, like the car's off. Like, does it take a little bit to get used to?
It did. Yeah, I never had one before. It took me a little bit to get used to, but you can kind of manipulate it. It really only will do it if you're like down, pushing the brake real hard down, and it knows your stop. Now I don't even really notice it.
Yeah.
You can turn it off.
You're used to it.
Yeah.
Let's see. We are in comfort. I'm going to do that for a little bit, then I'll switch to dynamic.
No need to go to eco.
Yeah, we don't need eco. What's eco?
Yeah.
Now, right away, it's just luxury. I mean, it's comfortable. I've been driving for a minute now. It's super comfortable and luxurious. I mean, like we said, this is a luxury car, and it fits the bill. Now, when Volvo came out with this car and all the other cars with like a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, I don't want to say that I was skeptical, but I was kind of surprised that they're kind of like putting all their eggs in this basket of like a 4-cylinder 2-liter car, because it's so much technology like crammed into one package. I mean, turbocharging and supercharging. I think it's like the first mainstream car that has both types of forced induction. And the reason that they have that is because when I drove my XC90, when I drove an XC90 last year, it's like the supercharger works from start until like 3,500 RPMs, and by that time, like the turbos have had time to sort of spool up, so then you don't have any turbo lag. It's just instant power, like a continuous power band all the way up through the range. So it makes sense. It's just so much technology crammed into one package. And I mean, you haven't had any problems with anything?
No, I haven't had any problems with it. You do notice the turbos kicking in, like you said, at some point.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was strange too. 4-cylinder. I think even the XC90s are 4-cylinders.
Yeah, they're all.
It's just something you're not used to hearing from an SUV.
Right.
But no, I haven't had any issues. I haven't had to. I think the only time I had to take it in is I got a nail in a tire.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I had
they
to
were able to pull out and patch.
So if I switch to dynamic, I want to see how it instantly changes. Look at that.
Yeah.
You felt it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as it changed.
I mean, I'm going 65, and I feel like the throttle is a lot more touchier, so that'll sharpen up the throttle response. Alright, so that's going to wrap up the time with the S90. Thanks to Dan for letting me drive his car, and it's, like I've said it before when I drove the XC90s last year, there's nothing wrong with it. It's got the style, the fresh look of the market, the luxury. It's a great car. I think Volvo has done nothing but good things. There's a dirt bike over there making noise. which is fine. But thanks for letting me drive your car.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on the channel.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button, and I hate that dirt bike. No, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Just lock us out.
Is it a child seat? Oh my god, I did that. I locked myself in my car.
Can that one open?
Oh shit.
You're like, oh, I have the keys. I guess I could.
Yeah,
Well,
but
if I hit the unlock, what? Allow us out?
Alright, I think we just did the same thing I did to my Mazda. We locked ourselves in the back because there's child locks.